All right, let's get into Galaxy Quest. We're going to go to the teaser trailer, and this stream is going to be over because of it. So thanks for your super chat and gifted memberships, because this will probably get claimed. Good old DreamWorks.
Look at
if
that.
you need me to pause it at any place, please be loud so I can hear you, and I'll stop it, and we can have a conversation of whatever part you see fit. Everybody got it?
Yeah.
Got it.
All right. Let's go.
In the far reaches of the galaxy, a civilization is under siege.
We are all that is left.
They've searched the universe for a leader.
Stay tuned for scenes from next week's Galaxy Quest.
Never give up. Never surrender.
He will save us.
What they got
Never give up. And never surrender.
were struggling TV actors.
You are our last hope.
Where's my limo?
I love the way that guy talks in the movie. I love when he goes.
Bro, if you're going to talk, say stop so we can hear you.
Oh, you said talk loudly.
I'm always having a hard time.
I can't hear you. All
I'm
I
not-
hear is it's muddy.
He doesn't know when to unstart the super chat.
I beg your pardon, Jay. May I please interject?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right.
That's why
No.
I play these, so y'all see something that triggers you. You're talking about this here, right?
Yeah, the way that guy, and from what I understand, he came up with that on the spot to talk like that, like all awkward and weird. Maybe I'm wrong, but he goes, when he like loads up, sometimes when he talks, he goes, oh.
It was so weird.
Oh yeah, and even the background, he's just constantly just kind of like just throughout the whole film.
But I think that falls very nicely with the fact that they're so naive.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, also
This guy
like
is,
knowing how awkwardly like shaped they are compared to what they normally look like, it makes so much more sense. But like, yeah, it's pretty great actually. Go ahead, Jonas.
No, so this guy's name is Enrico Colantoni, and he plays the dad on Veronica Mars. And I mean, that's a really great series. But I heard him talking about auditioning for this and not hearing anything back for a long time. And during the audition, he did this weird vocal warm-up thing where you're supposed to hit every possible sound as you do your vocal warm-up. And he did the performance based off of that. And they asked him to do an alien walk. And so he walked like he was one of those marionette puppets from Thunderbirds.
Oh my gosh, it's amazing.
Yeah, so when you see them walking around, that's what they're trying to do. They're trying to walk like they're puppets. And so he didn't get a call back for a really long time. And he heard about one of his friends going to audition. And he's like, oh, yeah, I should find out whether or not I got a part in that. It's like, are you kidding? They're using your audition tape to tell everybody to try to match your performance.
Oh, really? That is so cool.
So, yeah, that was on an episode of Mike Rowe. Great podcast, by the way.
Nice.
All right,
Oh yeah, he wasn't the photographer in Just Shoot Me.
Who's
yeah,
that?
we got to have dinner. Pretty cool. From Galaxy Quest.
Oh my gosh. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's actually pretty legit. Look at Jay being all famous.
Name dropping, you know how I do.
Yeah. That's crazy.
I'm just saying.
He's like, oh, look at this. Look who I got to have dinner with. What did you guys do last weekend? Well,
And he told wonderful stories about this film, which is so good.
Where's my limo?
I can't believe he was like, I'm only going with you guys if you get me a limo. And they got him a limo just to drive a couple of blocks and then just poof.
Yeah.
I like that. And I like that in that shot, the dog just kind of wanders in right after the limo gets pulled up into space.
Yeah. I want to be honest. My biggest criticism of this film is how terrible the marketing was. Because, like, this movie, to me, is nothing like the actual product, but it kind of also is. Like, it just, you don't get, you miss all of the, like, parts of this movie that really make it amazing, which is, like, all the heart and all of the, like, emotional aspects of it. It just seems like this really goofy slapstick comedy that just, like, kind of does whatever. And I remember watching it the first time and being like, this is nothing like the teaser. Like, this is actually, like, I don't know, like, way better than I thought it was going to be. but at the same time, like, you kind of have to sell it to people, and it's just funny, you know. So
It's true. It's like, how do you market it though? Like, it's a Star Wars ripoff. You know, like, does that turn people away when it's like, you know, like a Star Wars ripoff? So it's like, oh, I don't want to watch that.
Yeah.
So
it's and the scene in the limo when he puts his sunglasses on and he's like, I'm gonna close my eyes, but I'm gonna listen to everything you say. That reminded me of my dad so much, because that's what he would do to me all the time. He's like, I'm just closing my eyes, I'm just resting, but I am listening to you, I promise. And then he would start snoring. It's like, oh my God.
That's so funny.
You know, Mike, you bringing that up, but so far I've only seen one shot that was not in the movie that they inserted here in order to like sell the idea that they're watching a show, which they don't really talk about that too much. But I remember like a date that I went on in the 8th grade with a girl, and the trailer was for a romantic comedy about a guy who goes to work at a burger joint and falls in love with the pregnant girl that works there. But it wasn't that. It was like a dark comedy about like some people who killed somebody and think they got overheard on the radio. It was the most amazing switch. Wow. There was a lot of that in the 90s, like completely different trailer than the movie itself. That was Home Fries, by the way.
I've never heard of that movie.
That happened to me with The Lake House with Keanu, and I took a friend that was a girl that we were just going together, and then it turned out to be an entire romance movie. I thought it was going to be like a sci-fi movie, and I was like, oh, we're like on a date now. This is this was not intentional at all.
I'm going to need some evidence that was advertised as a science fiction.
I sure thought it was. Well, like the whole, you know, you sending letters through time, all that stuff. I was like, oh, there's like a cool little sci-fi element to this or whatever. And no, it was just a romance movie. It was a mistake.
Yeah. The thing that annoyed me most about that movie, it's like, can we at least pass a lottery ticket one time? Can we try?
Right, one time.
Right.
Just, yeah. Hey, I got this for you.
Okie dokie. And they're about to put on a command performance.
Pause it for a second. I forgot that was when she did that noise. It wasn't in response when he was trying to flirt with her. He's like, doesn't she talk? Because he looked at her and then I think he winked, and like he was checking her out. And her response was was her making all that noise.
Yeah, dude, it's pretty wild.
8 million light years away.
We are actors, not astronauts.
You are our protectors.
That was a hell of a thing.
Dude, Tony Shalhoub is so good in this movie, dude. Like, he is like the most chill whatever guy throughout the whole film, and it's so good. Dude, I quote that line still. I'm like, that's a hell of a thing.
Like, hey,
red shirt
the guys down here are telling me there's a problem. Like, he's the most. Yeah.
Yes.
But
he's
falls in
good
love
in
with a
anything
squid,
he
though.
does too.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, he does. And then when the tentacles come out and they start hugging him, he's looking around. He's like, eh.
He gets like even more
Guys,
excited.
like, get a
about it.
room, guys. Come on.
Yeah. Also,
he's like, stop.
it's the perfect juxtaposition to Sam Rockwell, who is just like hamming it up in this. Dude, hey, I think there's a red thingy coming towards the green thingy. I think we're the green thingy. Like, my favorite line, is there air? You don't know. And he's like, like, dude.
I liked him when he was at the con because he stands in line, meets the stars, and he goes, "You probably don't remember me. I was in episode 42. Do you guys mind if I sit next to you guys?" And they just look at him like, "What?"
Yeah, brings his own headshots. Oh my gosh, dude.
Yeah. He's so awesome. I forgot about that. That was amazing.
Yeah, somebody said they just noticed Guy doesn't even have the same uniform as them. That's dude,
well, because
so
he is
funny.
Guy. That doesn't even have a last name.
Yeah. Dude,
Well, see,
so
I liked how they leaned into the red shirt meme on that too, where he was just gonna like go in and just like, "I'll do it. I'm supposed to die anyway." They're like, maybe you're the plucky comedy relief. Did you ever think about that?
Also, when he's like, "Oh man, this is like in episode like 42." He goes, "I die in episode 42."
Yeah,
dude, he is so funny in that movie.
Well, isn't he the one too that looks at the original cast and goes, "Did you guys even watch the show?"
Yeah,
it's so good.
Did you guys even watch the show?
Oh my
he keeps telling them what's gonna happen, and they all have no idea. He's like, "No, they're gonna kill us. This is the part where we die."
And yes, it is episode 81. That was my bad, but yeah, dude, it's so funny.
Chat has it. What's my last name?
Yeah,
What's
do
my
I even
last
have?
name?
Yeah, he's like, "Guy, you have a name." He's like, "Do I? Do I?" Like, dude, his.
But it was so awesome though, because at the end he had a last name and everything.
Yeah.
Sam always shows up, man.
Yeah.
Now, Laredo, take us out.
You gotta move to the right.
Would you sit
Oh my god, this part was so. I was cringing so bad. He kept moving closer and closer to the wall.
Yeah.
And then he has to be told to practice driving. That's how horrible he was.
Dude, it's like the music is all like epic, and you're like, "Yeah, the spaceship and stuff," and he just like. And, like everybody starts doing this, like trying to lean away from it. It's like,
everybody leaning. Oh
yeah, dude, it's so good.
And the length of the hole making the scratching noise is way too excessive, and everybody's like,
"It hurt my ears."
Yeah,
man, that was an awesome scene.
Acting like heroes.
Pause it. That guy right there. Okay, they could have done this with crappy CGI.
Yes.
They could have done something stupid, but instead the puppet work on that face does not move that much, and they still get so much expression out of this. Like they knew how to shoot it, they knew how to move it. I feel like this is something that's lost in modern
absolutely
movie making.
Oh,
right
it
now.
looked amazing.
100%. Well, and the other thing about this, and that's the thing we keep coming back to with this movie, is there is so much love and care put into this film. In every aspect of it, and none of it feels phoned in or like they're riding on the coattails of Star Trek. They're just like, no, like we like this. Like this feels like a movie made by Star Trek fans for Star Trek fans. Yeah, but also let's laugh about it because we also know some of it is kind of ridiculous. Like, yeah, dude, it's so good.
Who's the actor that played this alien?
Saris? I don't remember. Let me look it up real quick.
I'll tell you who designed the costume is the one and only Stan Winston
in
the studio. So the guy who did Predator, Terminator, just a few small films. Yeah, no, I loved him. I love when he gets so angry, these wings would fly out of his back. He's like,
Oh wow, he played Sahid in Mass Effect. I did not know that.
Oh wow.
Yeah, there's so many moving pieces and parts on it that like points of articulation in the whole suit that move while he like my nephew walked in while I was watching it and he was on screen. He was like, "Holy crap, what is this?" I was like, "Don't spoil it. You need to watch this, dude. You're gonna like this."
Yeah,
great.
So yeah, Robin Sachs is his name.
He was in Jurassic World. Sorry, Lost World. Jurassic.
The Lost World Jurassic Park. He was in Babylon 5. Ocean's 11. Wow, he's been in a lot of little things here and in a lot of television. Holy cow. So, there we go.
Acting like heroes.
The whole thing was just a misunderstanding.
May not be enough.
They look like little children. Hi, little guy.
They look at him and it's like he looks just like a baby.
It's like her motherly instinct kicked in. She's like, "Oh, look at the little crippled one. They're giving him water."
Yeah. And then Guy, he's like, "Nah, they're gonna get weird. They're gonna get ugly." Like,
yeah.
Did you guys even watch this show? They had Sigourney Weaver's top always like ripped down.
Yeah.
You know?
Oh yeah.
I noticed that. Yeah.
So they did that on purpose. And I think the scene before that, they were going through some stuff pretty quickly. What did you guys think of the ship designs?
I actually
overall?
love the ship design.
Yeah.
I thought it looked amazing.
Yeah.
Haven't they put like this ship into some Star Trek games, like on mobile, like having the NSC protectorate or protector? I don't remember.
That wouldn't surprise me, but I don't know. Actually.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's a cool ship design, man. I mean, like, it feels, once again, its own thing, but also kind of an ode to Star Trek without like copying it directly. Yeah.
Right. And
Kinda
even
looks
the lighting on the alien ships and stuff, like all the green and all of that, like just seeing that, I'm like, man, this is straight up just, it feels like Trek. Like you could easily, I think, if you were kind of a bystander just popping in, like you could think somebody was probably watching some version of Trek.
Dude, the alien ship was so organic looking, but just enough technology. Like when I first saw this, it was like there's somebody's playing it at the college I was going to, and I'm like, "What's this movie?" They're like, "Galaxy's Quest." And I'm like, "What?" So I think I ended up watching it multiple times. But just seeing all the design, I love even the little underlings are cool. They all have their own little outfits. They're not just copies of each other. Yeah, it's just, I wish they would like unironically just keep going with this or do something with it. Like it's one of those ones I actually would like a sequel, but I know that it would be.
They worked on one.
Well, they're working on a series. The last I heard, they're doing a TV series of the show. But
what's interesting is after last week's show, and Epic Mike brought up the point that this is such a good, I don't know what you call it, like story.
Oh.
Yeah, where it's like the Three Amigos was the same story.
Oh yeah.
You know, I saw that so vividly watching this, knowing that this was kind of like the same story as Three Amigos, where it was actors. They get, they come out like, because remember, he shows up and he's drunk, and the first time he meets him, he goes, just fire all your phasers and missiles and just take me home. We'll be all right, And then, they lose. They go get him again, and he's like, okay, it's real. Like, do we fight or do we go? Pretty similar to the Three Amigos, so that it just seemed to work very well.
Yeah. That's those are called tropes, and yeah, I mean, like if you do them right, there's a reason they work, and yeah, it absolutely works here. Yeah, it's so funny too how drunk he is. He's like, and he just like just fire all the things, and he's like, awesome, cool. He like turns around and like leaves. Yeah, I was like, he would be upset. He's like, nah, like we're good. Like that's how this always works. Yeah.
I like how at that moment where he realizes that it's real, that like that's a big character moment that almost kind of occurs off screen for him. Like when he shows up to the con, he's so excited for the first time in the entire movie to be doing anything. He's trying to tell them what's going on. And then the Thermians show up, and he's doing his classic Tim Allen bit where he mispronounces the thing, like he did with Wilson on Home Improvement, and oh yeah, here are the termites and the lesbians or whatever he said. And he gets called up there, and they are all freaking out. And he's like, no, this is go time. We can be heroes now.
Yeah,
like, so bored with his life, and he's finally found fulfillment here. There's actually some character work that goes on. Speaking of which, the scene where he has to explain to the lead alien that he's a fake. That's amazing. I don't
explain it to him as if he's a child.
Yeah,
it's such
they have a green guy.
As a non-serious part, this right here in the movie, and I know everybody saw it, dude. Sigourney Weaver drops the F-bomb in this movie, and they had to edit it out. Apparently, they just wanted her organic reaction, and that's what she came up with, and they were just like, all right, well, we can't say that, so we have to like edit it out. But like, you could clearly see her mouth it, and they just had her voice over it later. Yeah,
this was probably like one of my favorite parts of the film, where he has to radio the nerds on Earth.
Yes.
And
your audio is cutting out a little bit for me.
Yeah.
You went. But, and he goes, hey, listen, I know it's TV show. I do go outside and do stuff. He goes, it's all real.
Oh yeah,
I knew it. I knew. He goes, and I need your help. So he just went, and all the nerds get together on like that old computer and like live stream and like get the plans. Oh, dude, it's did my mic buffer in and out? Did my mic?
It did.
Robot a little bit.
You sound good now.
Sorry.
Yeah, you do.
StreamYards, man, it screws with all of us. What can I do?
Yeah.
But yeah, I love that when all the nerds got together. They're like, "Hey, Chris, we got an emergency. I need those plans 32 through 36." He goes, "I'm pulling them right up." You know, that was so good.
Oh yeah. There's gonna be a little drop. Just a little drop. Thanks, or whatever he says, where they go right down the
Oh yeah.
tube. Yeah.
Yeah.
In his
Justin Long, man. He's
Chat, you can
just
let me
so
know
good.
If one of the mics mess up, yeah, let us know, because I don't hear it on my end, and most people won't tell me. So
we tried to tell you.
It usually hiccups. I don't know what it is. StreamYard's just like it does something, and then it just goofs on people's mics sometimes. So
yeah. Well,
what are you
another thing, like even in the chat, somebody said my buddy Rough Knight said, my buddy and I had all the schematics for the Star Trek and Star Wars ships. I used to have a book that had like a bunch of the specs for different like spaceships and stuff in it. I don't remember where I got the book from, but like to see them once again, it's not just the people, but it's like the fans. Like this kid lived his whole life wrapped around this TV show and loved it, and it was everything he ever wanted. And like, who wouldn't want to get a call from like James Kirk and say, "Hey, we're in trouble and we need your help"? You would jump at that chance to be like, I got to help, like the Star Trek crew, like, oh my gosh, you know? And so like, even that part of it, and to honor the fans and be like, you know what? It may seem silly to everybody else, but it's not silly to them. And if they didn't have it, what would have happened to the world? Like, you know, it's just like, what would have happened to all these people? It's just so great. I absolutely love that moment in the film.
I did too. And then the best part was, he's like, "Hey, are you still there?" And his mom made him take the trash out. He's like, "I cannot tell you the importance of the galaxy that's happening right now."
And that was probably like a regular day for her, right? Like he was always pretending that he was on the show. She's just like, this is more of his bullshit. Like he's just doing it. He's playing pretend again.
There was that great line where they'd look at each other and they're just like, at least he went outside. And
right.
Yeah. When he's walking with all the fireworks.
Yeah. Oh yeah. He's like taking out the Roman candles and stuff. And he's explaining it to her, and she's like, "Okay." He's like, "Well, at least he's outside."
I really like how it was them who knew what the Omega, and I can't remember the number.
Omega 13.
Omega 13 did, because nobody else knew what it did. Yeah. So the actors didn't even know, and it was the fans that dug into it enough to have theories about what it could be, and they were right.
Yeah. And related to that scene, the fact that they with this parody and kind of like an homage to the way they put stakes at the end, you're just like, what's going on right now? Like everybody's getting murked and they're losing. I'm like, what?
Yeah,
what's happening? I was like, the first time I saw it, my heart, I was like, well, that's not supposed to happen. And then you're like, oh yeah. But I think we're all glazing over the best part of this movie, I'm sorry, is Alan Rickman's character.
We'll get there.
Oh yeah,
that's for sure.
I do got to point out too, that's actually a trope too, what Mo just said. It's called Chekhov's gun, and I love that because like if you show a gun in the first act, you have to fire it by the end of the movie. And like they show you the Omega 13, make this huge deal about it, and they tell you like it's either a time travel thing or like it will destroy everybody. And it's hilarious to me that like they risk the entire like fate of the galaxy, maybe the universe, because they got shot, and they're like, just do it anyways, because like it doesn't matter at that point. You got to press it. Like we got to know what it does. So I love that.
Bro, I have a schematics book of all the Indiana Jones like tunnels and things that he went through and where he was supposed to stand, and I'm such a freaking nerd. Like every movie that he went through and where he was supposed to go and all that stuff.
I like to imagine the Grail theme plays when you read it.
It's the map room. Yeah, it's like the map room theme. It's so freaking good.
They look like little children. Hi, little guy.
DreamWorks Pictures presents Tim Allen, Sigourney Weaver, Alan Rickman.
There he is, Alan Rickman.
Yes. And he's barely in the marketing for this film, like in this trailer, but he's
And Sigourney's scene where they're like Sigourney Weaver's boobs.
Yeah.
Like, it was very clear. They're just like, in case you were interested and wanted to see this.
Yeah.
Probably my absolute favorite scene in the entire film was when he saves them. And he's like, he saved us. And he walks out with his arms up. And they go, the commander saved us. And he's like, I just can't catch a break, man. I just can't catch a break.
Or when he looks at Tim Allen, he says, and you took off your shirt. You managed to take off your shirt.
To get your shirt off.
Shirt off again.
But this is the best part, because when he's like, Commander Tiger saved us, like they do that, and then right afterwards, the guy that I can't remember his name because they're all weird, but the guy that followed him around and admired him, he gets shot, and the line that he hates, I don't want to jump right to it, but the line that like Grabthar's hammer, I shall avenge you, and he starts saying the line, the guy's dying, and he's just like so excited, and he died, and it's just like it's such good acting.
Well, the dude comes at him like, you were a father to me, not to be rude, I'm about to die here, but you were a father to me.
Well, like, dude, there's something beautiful though, because remember, like, once again, the relevancy to today, how many times have we heard as Star Wars fans, Star Trek fans, it's not that serious, it's not that important. It's like, no, it was important to some of us, and like some of us didn't have anything else. And like they do this is like phenomenal writing. They start out as such a joke, like by Grabthar's hammer, what a savings. And it's like he hates the line, he doesn't want to say it, you know, everybody expects him to because it's his thing. And then at the end of the movie, it's literally like the most beautiful moment to like the last thing this guy hears is his icon, this father figure to him, tell him like, listen, the thing that I now hated, like, has become like a chant of like strength for me, and to remind you of what you mean, and like that the faith you put in me is going to be paid off, dude. I get choked up, dude. I get choked up now watching it because it's so beautiful, like, and it seems like it should be a silly moment, and it's not at all. And it's also that is all Alan Rickman being a phenomenal actor.
And can I ask you something real quick, Mike? That line hits a lot harder now that we are fathers. It's just like, I don't remember it hitting me that hard back then, but I'm like, oh, dude, I forgot about that line. I was like, I'm getting a little tickly right now. That was so good.
There's something amazing, like also like awesome about like, dude, how many, once again, as nerds, how many of us wouldn't want like Leonard Nimoy to look at us and go, live long and prosper?
Yeah, of course.
And if you knew he meant it, it would mean something more to you than just him saying it for the, you know.
Bro,
like,
how many people here would love people from Cobra Kai just to beat them up?
What's going on, everybody? Here at Van Expo. Oh my God, it's Johnny.
Give me 20 push-ups in your knuckles. You
understand,
you stupid bear?
Okay.
Sorry.
It's so good, bro. No, it's so good.
I was getting emotionally upset. I had to play something.
Right?
Don't feel the thoughts. Punch him down, Jay. Punch down those feelings.
you gotta stick way down deep. Yeah.
In my Canadian bear costume. Oh man.
Yeah, there is a couple of moments of some actually pretty solid acting in here. Of course, Alan Rickman, awesome. And I'll bring it up again. The scene where Tim Allen has to explain that he's not really Commander Taggart. He's Jason Nesmith or whatever. And apparently when they were doing that scene, Alan Rickman was kind of sick of Tim Allen in all of this. He was a comedic actor. He was a bit cocky, kind of mirrors, you know, the tone of them in the movie. And he said he actually had respect for Tim Allen when he did that scene. And then Tim Allen gets done with it. He's like, I don't feel very good about this right now. Like because he was still kind of reliving the scene. He says, I think he just experienced acting.
Yeah. but it's beautiful. Like that's awesome to see that turnaround, because like, yeah, I mean, you know, Tim could just play the goof the whole movie and that would be really easy. But like everybody in this movie gets a moment to like develop as a character. Like even Tony Shalhoub's character, who's like completely nonchalant, gets a moment where he actually like isn't anymore and he's stressed out. He's like, yo, I might like kill this guy if I do this wrong and stuff. But like every single person in this movie gets like this beautiful moment where they get to like pay off the character development and the thing that they've been dreading and hating their whole career or whatever about themselves. Or, dude, it's so good, and it's like beyond anything that we deserved from this film.
It's funny too. You were talking about this really does come down to the writing, and that's the big thing that we all complain about with like modern Hollywood stuff. But I looked, and David Howard and Robert Gordon wrote this. It was David Howard's like first screenplay, and Robert Gordon had done like one thing before this, and these two put out this absolute banger, and had done not much of anything before this, which is wild.
I'm gonna keep.
Galaxy Quest.
You're just gonna have to kill it.
We'll go for the mouth, the throat, his vulnerable spots.
It's a rock. It doesn't have any vulnerable spots.
Yeah, dude.
Also, rest in peace, DreamWorks. The only place that survives now is as an animation placard for Universal.
Yeah.
I gotta show this scene. I'm sorry. This is just too freaking. This is like. If the stream ends because I'm playing copyrighted stuff, I'm sorry. This was just too funny.
He has saved us from Undertaker
That's so good.
Yo, man, it's so good.
It's so good, bro. He's so upset.
We're gonna share our Criticless scores. I'm gonna read some of yours in the chat, but when you guys go over your scores, like, you know, feel free, tell us your favorite parts, tell us what you loved. You know, you don't just have to say I gave it an 80 and then move on. So because this was, and then also chat, we need your help picking next week's movie. So we'd love to see some recommendations in there as well. But before we get into that, can you catch us up on the super chats real quick, Mo?
Yeah. All right, we have Grand Potato for $4.99. The red thingy is moving towards the green thingy.
Yeah,
it's one of the funniest lines of the movie, dude. Sam Rockwell. That's the first time I ever saw him. Just, I fell in love with that actor, dude.
I think
amazing.
We're the green thingy. And then they're like, what? And he repeats the whole thing all over again. Like, dude, yeah, it's so funny.
I want to watch it again. Like, seriously, I usually give it time to breathe, but I might watch it again tomorrow.
It's pretty good.
You gotta watch Wrath of Khan.
Wrath of Khan, yeah, it's wonderful. But Galaxy Quest, I just love Alan Rickman and Tim Allen. They're all wonderful.
Yeah.
But Peter Sharon.
Hey, what's up, Peter? Look at that. Member for 58 months,
58
dude.
months, bro.
Word.
That's crazy.
That's insane, man. Thank you for all the years of support.
Yep. And then we go from the highs to the lows, Jay. No wipe 3PO for $2.
There it is with the toilet paper.
Toilet paper emoji.
He found it.
And I didn't know this, but this makes sense. Raymond DeGraw for $2. Yep. NTE 3120. The NTE means not the Enterprise. That's awesome.
I did not know that.
That would fall in line with everything.
That's cool.
Thank you.
Who would like to go first?
I can go first.
We'll start with Jonas, since I see everybody's got it all pulled up. Ready?
Yeah.
All right, here we go.
I love
93.
And I think I'm on the lower side for this one in this group here. I'm just gonna say, not to spoil it, but this is a movie that works for the premise, where it's a movie that's making fun of Star Trek, but it's not really making fun of Star Trek. It's making fun of it in a way that is obviously coming from the heart. It's like that joke where Tony Shalhoub is acting like a stoner who doesn't really care that the ship is about to explode. They never explain that that's a Star Trek joke. It's just there, and it's funny. It's got a lot of heart. It's got a great score. Like that theme is perfect because it sounds like a TV show theme, but it's still kind of inspirational. This is a great film, and I would be okay watching this with my little kids too. And there's only one thing else I want to point out here. Do you guys know that Dwight Schrute from The Office is in this movie?
I did.
Rainn Wilson.
Yes. Yeah. Rainn Wilson.
I love pointing that out because he does not look like Dwight in this movie at all.
Mm-mm.
Yeah, no.
All right. Cool.
Well, that was quick.
What, you want me to go on for longer?
All right, Mo, thank you.
So
98 with Mo. How about that?
90. It's a 90. Nope. Yeah.
Oh, sorry. I'm 90.
I don't want to redeem myself.
Too.
Yeah, I don't want to redeem myself that quickly.
No,
but
under the bus.
Yeah. I thought it was a 90. I loved the movie because, like I said, I found it on accident when it came out on video like 25 years ago, and just like I said, the music doesn't get enough love. It was a wonderful soundtrack. It could have existed on its own. It had just a tinge of funniness to it, but it was still very serious. As far as the movie, though, I love how everybody interacted. It goes too quickly. I wish there was more of it, but I love the movie. It's always had a soft spot in my heart. Sigourney Weaver losing it at the end. My favorite scene, we didn't get to it, was the pig lizard turning inside out.
Oh, yeah, that was great.
But he's inside out. He goes, "What did he say?" You know.
Boom!
He's like,
and it exploded. But it's so much fun, and I'm glad I got to share it with my family. My son had not seen it, so it's just a wonderful movie with a lot of heart, and it's something we sorely are missing nowadays. So 90%.
Boom.
Excellent. All right, Sevi, you're next.
Awesome. Well, let me.
Oh no, an 83.
Yep, I gave it an 83. I did like it a lot. I thought it was very entertaining, but I also gonna have to kind of figure out where it falls within the scope of all movies, because I can't give every single movie a 90% or 100%. But I did like it. But the one thing that the reason why I gave it an 83 and not 90 was because the voices from the aliens were really getting to me, and they became really annoying really quickly. I understood what they were doing because they were trying to be naive, and they were obviously it was like a translated speech that they were doing, but it really got on my nerves really quickly. So that was the one thing that I didn't like about it. But I really liked how the character growth that everybody experienced. I thought it was fantastic. I thought they had a lot of really heartfelt scenes, as we kind of talked about earlier. And it was just amazing to see when they finally did get back on Earth after crashing all those cars. That, Tim Allen actually looked at the nerds that were helping him and the geeks that were helping them, and then kind of gave them the eye and kind of thanked them for for everything that he did. It was I really liked it. It was just, it got a little bit too much for me for the voices that they were making.
Respect. Yeah. Who's next? Criticless?
Yeah.
Lane, you ready?
Yeah.
I'm good. Stuff. There we go.
Right, yeah, I got mine up. Yeah, I really like it. This isn't one of those that I had a ton of nostalgia for, but I like it. I didn't watch it a whole bunch, but I've seen it quite recently and then watched it again today, but I watched it with my kids. They had a blast with it recently when we watched it, and the big thing is it's kind of like we kept touching on, where it's this is one of those things where it could have been so dumb, but then there are just moment after moment of where you're like, oh, this is a real movie. They're taking this seriously, and they actually want it to be good on top of being a funny spoof type of thing. But also, typically, it's I love Tim Allen. I loved him in Santa Claus and pretty much everything he's in. I watched so much of just pretty much everything he was in and just find him really funny. But he almost kind of takes second fiddle in this movie just compared to everyone else that's in it, because there's so many excellent actors in it, where it's even down here in the gifts, it's people are sharing Alan Rickman and stuff. It's it's just there are so many other great personalities in this as well, that he doesn't have to just carry the whole movie on his shoulders, which I think is great. And then I did mention in my review about Sam Rockwell, just because I freaking love Sam Rockwell. The dude always shows up. He's always great and just so funny. And he was in this from start to finish. And just the practical effects in this too are so much better than they had to be or should have been. And even with it coming out in 99, the special effects that are in it are really solid. And with the little creatures and the rock monster and all of that, it's just, this movie's way better than it has any right to be. And it still holds up great. So yeah, I gave it an 89. I think it's an awesome movie.
Love it. You. All right, Mike, you ready?
Yeah. I gave it a 95%. Yeah, I absolutely love this movie. I grew up watching Star Trek, the original series. My grandmother had every single episode taped. She had them on video cassette, and I watched them all. I grew up, and then Next Generation. I love the Next Generation growing up. So to watch this film and think it was going to make fun of me for being a Star Trek fan and actually do something that I didn't expect, which is to honor me being a Star Trek fan. Honor what came before it was huge. Everybody in this cast brings their A game. Everybody's killing it. There's not a single person in this cast that isn't doing a good job. And the one person that I think has the weakest job in the movie is Sigourney Weaver. Actively complains about the fact that she got the worst job in the show. And I think that that's hilarious that they really encompass the entire gamut of fandom. Yeah, I love that. I love all of it. Like I said, Alan Rickman is huge in this movie. And I just
it doesn't seem like a movie he would do though, right?
It doesn't. Yeah, no. That's the thing.
If and that's what makes it special.
Yeah, if you told me today that there was a movie with Tim Allen, Alan Rickman, Sam Rockwell, Tony Shalhoub, Sigourney Weaver, you'd be like, dude, what are you talking about? What Justin Long? But it all works because they're all great actors and they're all at the top of their game and they treat this movie seriously. Even the comedy, they treat it seriously. Tim Allen is not phoning in the comedy in this movie. He's actively working to be funny in this movie, which is great. I absolutely love every part of it. Even the action sequences, which is another thing we don't talk about a lot. The action is actually good. It plays like a Star Trek movie. There's actually stakes. When he's fighting, Saren, and he's like, "Yo, I'm dragging mines," and then they pull the maneuver where they pull up at the last minute and throw the mines into his ship. That is a Star Trek move right there. They're using they're outthinking their opponents, dude, because they're up against the odds are stacked against them. All of it is great. I love every part of this movie. I have no complaints. It's not a perfect film, but it's only not a perfect film because I still think that there are moments that are played up for the trying to reach the common denominator. It's not like a full-on nerd film. I think if they had braced the nerd a little bit more, I probably would think it was a perfect movie. But 95 is amazing. The special effects, the villain is great. Oh my god, I can't say enough good things about this movie. The villain is awesome. He's a legit bad guy. That's a legit Star Trek villain that these guys are going up against. The movie's great. I love it. I love all of it, and I love even at the very end. Once again, being topical, they reboot the entire series because of a thing that happens that goes viral. And everybody goes, oh my gosh, we need more of this show. And the whole show gets rebooted. And they have the new Adventures of Galaxy Quest, which they couldn't even get off the ground today in real life about this movie. It's just art imitating life, imitating art. It's just great. I love everything about this. So
I'm saying it sounds like you really liked it.
A little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think I'm going to redo my review, give it a 70 now.
A 70. Well, I gave it a 95 as well.
Look at that.
I enjoyed the whole thing from start to finish. And again, working at conventions kind of made it even more special. I see my man X-Wing in the chat. How you doing, brother? Let's go through some of you guys' reviews because they came. Your guys' reviews came in quick today. We see 70 reviews that came in.
Wow.
What was it in one day? So I'll try to get it through as many as I can. But we got Man Does Movies gave it 100%. I like Holy Fudge's review. He gave it a 99. He goes, Tim Taylor has a fever dream about being a bachelor at a Star Trek convention. Pretty good. Joey gave it a 100. Alex gave it an 83. Star Trek spoof that's better than modern day Star Trek. My Dixie gave it a 62. I wanted to give up and I wanted to surrender. He's in the chat. Respect, man. Always be honest. I think it's pretty cool. Life of Marshmallows gave it a 98. He calls it a nearly perfect. I can't see how it could be better.
Yeah.
Faithful Geek gave it a 95. Mountain Mutt 99. Michael's 92. We got Rebel Headspace. Gave it an 80. Says this is one of those movies that is really ahead of its time. I think so. Corn Boy gave it an 85. Jaja Binks gave it a 68. I have no idea what video he's playing here, but you know,
knowing him, who knows?
You know, I don't know. We got David gave it 100, another 95. Risk It gave it an 80. Can't pronounce that name. Frischmir, is that how you say it? Gave it a 96. We got a 98. Jose Taco gave it a 94. There's Mike. Another 99, another 100. Gunther gave it a 71. So this is one of my family's favorite. There's nothing on Let's Have a Good Laugh. Is that what that says?
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Sam Wise, he's got the lightning bolt, huh? Gave it an 86. 95, 90. Zeke the Wise gave it an 82. A lot of these contain spoilers. That's why they're not coming up. A 90. Mo Monty, my man Mo gave it an 80. Parker, 100. A lot of 100s. There's Lily. She will be here soon. Oh, man. 30.
Oof.
Yo.
Even for a parody, this was mad.
Oh.
Well,
Only
that's why we have
once, too.
Criticless. We respect.
This guy
Nick in the chat gave it an 82. We got a 55. First time watcher, and the most feeling I had was cringe. Cringe and more cringe.
Oof.
Geek Truth gave it a 100. Yeah. Mr. P with an 80. I'm trying to get through as many. Like, there's some 71s, some 75s. You got to get your review in early, and I can get to it. More and more people are watching these films with us, and I think it's freaking amazing. So there's
What's that review?
Jonas. I don't know. But, yeah, a lot of 100s, a lot of high reviews, a couple stinkers in there as well. Yeah, I mean, that's not bad. 79, rad, 78. Contains spoilers, 94. Man, you guys just came through. All right, now these are the older ones. So,
yep.
July. But, yeah, there you have it. So, overall, on Criticless, it is, what are we looking at here? 90?
Yeah. That's
oh
high.
wow, that's really amazing.
Especially with that many people, that is hard to hit. That's impressive.
Look at that.